Hello and welcome to GPTV Carnegie, otherwise known as the Carnegie Report. We are in October 2019 and I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel.
You are indeed, and here we are in the midst of spring where it's all happening, plenty of people around. What's your thoughts?
Look, it's been great, Gary. Footy season's over, cricket's soon, horse racing season, but property, this is the time we like to shine the spring season and we're loving it. The market's great.
It is. School holidays are over as well now. Everybody's back and focused. And hey, last weekend, Leo, 22 groups of people average per open inspection. That's like 30, 40 people. That's a lot of buyers around.
Massive increase.
I don't know if we've had a bigger number than that in the last
Can't recall for many years.
Yeah, couple of years.
Buyer demand is definitely out there. Interest rates cut again on the decrease down. So what a great opportunity to park some money into some quality real estate.
Lots of bidders on the weekend too. Lots of auctions with 4 bidders, 3 bidders, 5 bidders. We're seeing that now. That's certainly changed. When you think about 6 or 8 months ago, it was about finding a bidder. And 2 was already celebratory times. But now we're seeing 4 and 5 bidders. Certainly the property's back, isn't it?
Definitely.
Back in a big way. We've had plenty of exciting sales. One on the weekend was unbelievable, that one in St Hubert's Road. Am I right? Was there 79 bids at that auction?
79 bids. Graham Callan handled this 3-bedroom villa unit in St Hubert's Road. Vendor had a dream price of $950, Gary. Sailed all the way to $1,102,000. And if you look back at many reports, we always talk about the demand for single-level villa units. And this one, 1 of 4 on the block, but great in terms of house size proportions, but very much competed. 4 and 3 bidders went nuts. And how many was it? 78 in total?
79 bids. That's incredible. And now, talking about horses, it sounds like you're a little bit hoarse. You've got a bit of a sore throat here. What's going on there? Too much partying, or you had a few days off? See,
it's trying to do the Mr. Ed impression today.
Is that right? Hello, we're very good. Now, I've got to say that you had a few days off last week.
I did.
So that's what happens. You don't have any days off, because the days off will kill you every time, right? You just keep working for the rest of your life till you drop.
It's always the way. When you slow down for a few days, it always catches up with you.
Well, it can, can't it? But anyway, good to have you back, and I hope you get through that very quickly, because we need your voice on the weekend with auctions, and anyway, I've got a bit of time. Talk about St Hubert's Road. We had another good sale in St Hubert's Road. We seem to be the St Hubert's Road's experts. 1 at 46 St Hubert's Road. Tell us a bit about that.
That was an unrenovated villa unit, 2 bedrooms. Jack Slater was handling the sale there, which we covered off in the last month's report. Chasing around the mid-6s, flew all the way to $751,000 to a local Carnegie buyer. And villa units, as I keep saying, they're the things you buy.
Now, we're loving Murrumbina and Murrumbina Road. We had a great result there. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, that was a 1-bedroom apartment which was renovated by father of the original buyer, of the original owner, Avi Milder there, and it was an amazing renovation for a 1-bedroom apartment in Murrumbina Road. Sold for $330,000 in the end.
That's exciting, isn't it? Grange Road, tell us about that one.
Sold before auction for $417.5, a near new 1-bedroom apartment close to all the action of Glen Huntly Road.
Talking about Glen Huntly Road, we've had a sale in Glen Huntly Road, Carnegie. Tell us about that one. That was a beauty as well.
Yeah, also those new 1-bedroom apartments, Gary, with their modern day floor plans, they're very popular. Sold before auction as well. Jack Slater did a good job there. Both vendor and buyer very wrapped with that purchase and sale, $425,000.
A lot of activity in the 1-bedroom market space for our office, but we moved through to some 2-bedders as well. Koonang Road was a great result, Leo.
That was another good auction done by Graham. Sold for $827,000 off the back of that auction we had in Mimosa Road with 13 bidders. Only had the 3 bidders at this time, but it did still very well for
only had 3, still good. Now, I had the great pleasure, also not far away from your office and the territory where we're so active. In fact, Ormond's an interesting territory for us, because the Caulfield office has a lot of Ormond action, the Bentley office does, and so does the Carnegie and Murrumbina office. So Ormond seems to be, we've like surrounded it. It's like we're surrounded on all fronts. But Stewart Street, Ormond was an interesting period home. We auctioned that one, thought we might get between 1.3, 1.4, 1.43. We sold it for 1.45 with 2 strong bidders there. The other auction that was very strong and well competed for was 21 Hawson Avenue. Jack Slater did an awesome job of handling that one from, of course, the Koonang Road office.
It's very even hard to find a house medium price for Glen Huntly, but in terms of Glen Huntly, you always get the runoff from Caulfield out there. And this one here, look, in relation to not much being offered at that price point, I think contribute to the factor. But look, it was a beautiful home. Good clients of yours, Gary, and Philip Stratney stuff as the auctioneer there. Had about 5 bidders to work with. Yeah,
that was an awesome result. And I'd have to say that if you do have a good home, you can really get a lot of competition now. And I know that sounds like a bit of a trite sales pitch, but it wasn't so 6 or 12 months ago, 8 months ago. Now we're finding intense competition, lots of premiums. I think there'll be people that are sort of a bit perhaps not as knowledgeable as others, a bit uneducated, saying, oh, you're underquoting. The reality is that in good markets, properties do run away from their quotes. That's what competition does, and our job is to get the best price for vendors. But we're finding a lot of properties are exceeding now what we're expecting and exceeding reserve prices. We've got some terrific offerings. Shall we get into them very quickly?
We should.
4 at 102 Oakley Road. I know you're familiar with that property. Tell us about it.
Set to go to auction. This 2-bedroom ground floor apartment with a courtyard. Courtyard apartments, refurbished blocks, block of 6. Should go really well, expecting just around that 520 to 570 level. Could go stronger based on competition, but it's been very popular and handled by Jack Slater.
And David Thompson, we love it when he does auctions. He's got one up in Kooraga Road coming up this weekend.
Talk about a blank canvas, definitely this one out. It's a 2-bedroom apartment with a massive courtyard, but literally is a blank canvas. Check out that one if you're a first-home buyer and investor. Great value in my mind.
I'm loving the look of this Huntley Road property, also going up this weekend. I think Jeremy Rosen's auctioning that. We've sold in that little street a few times.
We have, Gary, and it's an interesting subdivision. It's like a row of modern terraces and close to Glen Huntley Station and the Glen Huntley Village there. Should go well as well, that one there. We're expecting interest into that sort of high 8s to sort of into the 9s. Should go well.
Now, our office is in Koornang Road, but so is the listing that we've got also in Koornang Road I think Glenn's listed, and I'm going to be the auctioneer, so I get a little bit of action in and around the area as well from time to time. Take us through that property. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, a lovely 2-bedroom villa unit next to the one we sold only a few weeks ago, which we covered off before. Should go well as well. Villa units opposite Koornang Park and the Caulfield Bears football club where we sponsor as well.
Linnymule Road is a great address. Some exciting and interesting developments and improvements going on in that street, and I know Jack Slater is very excited about the one he's handling. You're auctioning it. Take us through that.
Villa units as well. We've got plenty of them. We wish we had more, but the demand is definitely out for this one because he had a great start with it, with over about 40 groups expecting over week 1 near newly refurbished Ormond train station, Kilvington, and set back off the subdivision, a lovely single level unit.
Test now your music trivia knowledge. Rosanna, who sang Rosanna? Who sang it? Yep.
Don't know that.
No, the same artist who sang song Africa.
Toto.
Yeah, Toto, very good. Rosanna was a Toto song, and that is also a street, not Toto, but Rosanna Street in Carnegie. Take us through this.
Rosanna Street, we've managed it for a number of years, this property. Look, freestanding homes in Carnegie, opposite Rosanna Park, right near all the action of Koornang Road, Packer Park. Definitely check this home. It's a great one to live in, refurbish in time, but house and land, can't beat this one.
That's for sure not. And we wrap up with this fantastic looking property on Booran Road. I'm very excited about this one. I have the auction honours, and I know Jack Slater has been involved in listing it and representing it. It is a fantastic looking, spacious home. Tell us a bit more about it.
So it's an interesting side-by-side subdivision here. It's got a really great facade here. Really done really well by the developer owner there. It's got plenty of accommodation in terms of space, close to all the action, near one of your favourite cafes being Mr. Brightside.
Love it there.
And Egon Reserve, and behind Ormond Blues.
A traditional look, but certainly modern and luxurious inside, and I know Jack Slater's excited about that, as the whole team are, to represent the vendor and that property. Now that's a big wrap. We are in October, mid-October, or approaching mid-October. People want to sell this year, what are their options?
There's only literally 5 weeks left, Gary, for this year. Whatever we're listing now, early October, set to go to auction.
Late November, yeah.
Mid-November, but to get on, you don't know people. We don't auction up Christmas weekend or the week before is really can't and fine. But really, I reckon next 4 weeks, get your skates on.
I'm predicting a very busy early December. I think the first 2 or maybe 3 weeks of December, because I think there's a 1st and the 8th and the 15th. I think, or Sunday the 1st, 8th and 15th. So they've got 3 weekends or 2 weekends, full December weekends. I think they're going to be busy. I think we're going to go right into December this year. And if you're wavering and thinking about selling, well, unfortunately for agents and for buyers, there's not much around. The stock levels are down. Fortunately, the good news is for vendors, you can take advantage of this shortage of stock and put your property on the market, and I wouldn't say be guaranteed, but I'd be very confident that you'd get great competition right now, because that's what we're seeing pretty much everywhere.
Well, like you said, Gary, with an average of 22 groups inspecting, our open for inspections, even last week alone, the buy demand's there, and supplies, look, it's creeped up a bit, but look, good listings are still selling well. But look, happy to have a chat, whether we set it up for an auction or private sale, off market, whatever approach may be, we'll have to have a chat.
Of course, the great story is the clearance rates. You know, we're seeing now industry-wide 70 to 80%, week in, week out, 75% I think last weekend. What does that say about the market?
Look, I think the market definitely kicked on since the election, but look, it's definitely, if you've got money, you're pre-approved, go for it, because look, the supply is sort of creeping up a little bit, but it shows that the market's well out there, it's confident, and people want to park the money in property because it's a safe investment.
People complain that it's expensive to buy homes in Melbourne. Real estate's expensive, and it is. It's an expensive city. It's an international city. It's changed. We grew up in a city that wasn't an international city as such. It really is now an international city, an international destination, and I think property prices are going to continue to rise. That's the bad news for people who are trying to get in. But the good news is, if you do get in, you'll have the benefit of those rises and those gains.
Especially the areas where we're covering off on, the Carnegie, Glen Huntly, Murrumbina, Hughesdale, pockets of Bentley Ormond. Look, we're underpinned by great public transport, schools, parklands, and the demand's there. And look, outside of villa units, they're going up because some people want a bit better than apartments and they can't afford the freestanding home. That alternative accommodation's there, factored in by those amenities
Absolutely.
nearby.
And great cafes and restaurants around as well. So we all need to eat, but there's plenty of choices in now, and there are more and more all the time. When I've been to the Murrumbina office a couple of times for lunch. Some of the people there, some of the great people that have joined us and part of the Thompson's amalgamation. And I've got to say, we can go to a different cafe every time, all around the corner, because there's just so many fantastic
so much to offer.
Which is wonderful. Well, that's a big wrap on the Carnegie Report. We are in October. We've got another 1 or 2 to go, and then the year's at an end. But certainly real estate, far from being over this year. We are right in the midst and in the absolute height of the spring market. So we look forward to seeing you out at our auctions. Come and have a coffee, have a glass of water, have an iced coffee if it's warm, if you want to. And we look forward to keeping you informed as to what's going on in the wonderful world of real estate. My name's Gary Peer.
And I'm yours, Samuel. Have a fantastic day.
We'll see you next time.